the levels of authority within an organization. The key point is level of authority. Okay, the bold one is the key point. Now, when you are answering okay hierarchy, there is the level of authority, levels, the organization. Okay, it's rank positions top to bottom. Right, top to bottom, we can identify power and authority, no? Function basis, marketing, HRM, finance, distribution, whatever it is. Okay. Some key points, top level, chairperson or the board. Okay, the middle, lower. Then again put a star chain of command. Certain of past papers, okay. Recent past papers, they ask about chain of command. What is meant by chain of command? Define chain of command. Explain chain of command. Okay, definitely mean by define. Yes, this is the definition. Okay. So underline the key point. Authority, instruction passed down. Top to bottom. The chain. Okay. From the top to bottom, how the instruction or the decisions passed on basically. Not all structures we can identify here. Put all of it. We just assume board members, right? Then senior managers, then assistant managers. Okay, chain of command. Top to bottom. Now the paper, okay, all of you, the paper. Today they can ask. Now think about they can include picture, tone structure. Okay, they mention here senior manager or the what you call CEO, whatever the top category. Okay, top positions. Then after that, senior manager in marketing, senior manager in HRM, then assistant manager or manager, then assistant manager. So they can ask. Identify or stages of the chain of command or the levels of chain of command. Okay, the decision or the top to bottom based on this structure you need to identify. So you need to mention okay from the board, then after the senior, then after the manager, likewise. This is the chain top to bottom. Clear? Self clear? Senara, I hope you are there. Revenue, is this clear today? Right, okay. Okay, so in the paper you need to mention, right, top position to bottom, how the chain, how the commanding goes, how the decisions are passing down. So you need to mention those things. Right? Levels. The one on the paper they ask about levels. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, you need to mention. Right. Then, past paper question, advantages of chain of command. 2020 paper. Okay, first paper. Advantages, chain of command. Okay, showing the pathway, no? So responsibilities, efficiency. Clearly we can identify, okay, who are the people are responsible. Okay, so it will create a, now think about, very clear about the organization. Then after that, which function? Okay, he's presenting HR, he's presenting production, he's presenting, think about distribution like, okay, he's a senior manager of distribution. So we can identify specially, he specialized on the distribution there. He's the superior of the marketing like this. So disadvantages of chain of command. Okay. So disadvantage by looking at the higher chain of command, managers may lose control. Why many people are reporting. The subordinates are more. The below manager, senior manager, manager, assistant manager, likewise, a lot of. Then slow down the efficiency, passing of messages top to bottom, waiting of time, changing of message informations. Now, Chitapata is performing very well in the organization. I have the superior. Mantiya kiyan adi main di ni Achintha perform karna kya is not performing. Ehme abhi pass karanne. So the hierarchy is much taller. Yes, jealousy of those things can be there, no? Yes, it's too much. Of course, we can identify scenarios. Okay, then yes, that's the risk of communication, delaying, taking too time, changing of information, decisions, less flexibility, ignoring. You can answer later on. Right. Then put us again, span of control. So they definitely study span of control. The paper they can ask, okay, explain span of control. You need to definitely mention span of control, 2 areas in your answer. First of all, the subordinates. This is the key point. Highlight. Manager or the leader directly, subordinates are reporting, no? Under the control of the manager or the leader. Number of subordinates. We can identify 2 ways. Wide span of control and narrow. Right? Narrow, wide. So in the answers you need to mention span of control. We can identify 2 ways. Wide span of control and narrow span of control. So wide span of control. Right, wide we can identify too much, but narrow few. Why? Manager, assistant manager, likewise. Okay. Any questions under the span of control? Yes. No questions. Right. Here, simply you can identify wide, narrow. So manager, assistant managers, 2 assistant managers are there. Okay, but here the wide one person need to look after 5 employees. Right? So mention very clearly. Okay. Even here, wide span of control, too much. Right? So it's mentioned about the advantages and disadvantages. Okay. So next week we can discuss this part, no? Right. Yes. Okay. Okay then. That is enough for today. Take care of it. Bye. Love you all.
Take care, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for teaching, sir.
These claimers are very happy to share something with the manager or the superior. But superior not in a position to listen. Okay, so of course we are frustrated. Now think about in organization, we need to share some idea. But the superior not in a position to listen those things. Right? So they are by management, business style, leadership style, structure. Okay, now we discuss about the tall structures, flat structures. The flat part, of course, is very few levels. But in the tall structure, okay, now Achintha presenting excellent. Okay, serving the senior manager. The mid of that, some other employees are there, basically. Management levels are there. Very good. I think the pass is some, now think about good idea. Right? Okay. We'll pass to the top part. So senior management, okay. This is the new, we think about new process development or something like that. The mid of the part, are they willing to share some marks, basically some, okay? In country like Sri Lanka, of course, they are afraid to lose their marks, no? So thereby the management of basically some of the employees, of course, they are capable. With their work experience, they know, okay, changing of this kind of a process or changing this kind of process, changing of this kind of a or the doing of change arrangements maybe, process changes, adding of new machines maybe, we can improve. But seniors, are they willing to accept it? So thereby, again, so we cannot find. So thereby, practically some of the business, how they, the hierarchy, the commanding part, chain of command, okay, basically leadership style. So based on that one, sometimes we are unable to develop good relationship. We are unable to share something. As it is, we need to follow. Okay, so those are the limitations which we discuss about Maslow and the actual work environment. So with the 2000 recent papers, they ask question from this limitation. All papers 2010, some around 9, okay. So yes, let's go through the limitation. Then to the Herzberg two-factor theory, definitely, okay, this year most I foresee there's a much possible ask question from this hierarchy, two-factor theory. One of the parts, okay, hygiene factors, motivators. We know hygiene factors are the factors create dissatisfaction. Okay, to enhance satisfaction, we need to minimize hygiene. Some students understand, okay, hygiene factors are the motivators. No, hygiene factors, dissatisfaction factors. We need to minimize hygiene. Good example, pay sufficient fair salary. If you are not paying a sufficient and fair salary, hygiene. Okay, so likewise, now think about motivator recognition, achievement, teamwork, likewise. Those are create a motivation. Those are create a good environment, happy to work, right? But with the low salary, okay, hygiene, in the hygienes are developing dissatisfaction, creating mono, okay. So two factors are there, hygiene factors and motivators. Now in the paper, when you are answering, okay, the paper, if they ask question, okay, explain Herzberg two-factor theory or two-factor theory. Most of the past papers, they ask about explain, identify, or analyze about two-factor theory. Okay, two-factor theory. So the two-factor theory, you need to mention under the two-factor theory, two parts are there, hygiene factors and motivators. So then after that, you need to explain about the hygiene as well as motivators. Some past papers, they specifically ask about the hygiene factors. Some past papers, it's a mixed question there, or otherwise motivators. So you need to identify exactly motivators, what are the motivators and hygiene factors. Just few points are enough. Okay, 4 point maximum enough. Okay, even the structure question, because analyzing part, you need to explain about the plus and minus. Okay, when I discuss in past papers, you realize, okay, now company policies, supervisions, working conditions, relationships, salary, security, basically hygiene. Now some of the points are from the Maslow. Some of the points are from Maslow. Okay. Then motivators, recognition, responsibility. We discuss enrichment, enlargement. Remember job rotation. Okay. So achievements, recognition. Some are very own way they are working. They are self-motivated. They are very interested varieties of the challenges. Responsibility, some are very happy about the responsibilities. Enrichment, enlargement, okay. Basic growth, personal skills, personal, now think about next level, okay. Next promotion, yes. So those are the motivators. Footer star, new part, business application of Herzberg theory.
Sir, should we highlight as well?
Yes, the thing I mentioned, just highlight. Okay, now think about hygiene factors. We need to pay fair. Very common thing. Okay. Then we need to provide good working conditions. Now think about percent of the most organizations they are using air conditioning, fans, okay. The work environment, now think about previously huge cubicles, okay, separate location, is the senior manager, the junior, light wire, blah blah, of course. Now, only few of the organizations following still the old traditional methods. They display their names, all the things, okay, whatever the deputy, whatever gender, likewise, okay. GM, likewise. But present day, they're just addressing their name. But traditional businesses still down sector, some businesses also feel to address as okay likewise. But other the organization basically think about private banks in Sri Lanka, think about private sector businesses. Okay. They try to address their name. Okay. Just address Carl, CEO of the business, senior manager, maybe Shah, or something like that. We are just addressing the name, that's all. We are expecting the person. Okay. Now, European organizations, are they saying officer, boss, likewise? It's very rare. Okay. So we need to create a culture, different culture. Okay. So thereby, in the Herzberg factor, two-factor theory, hygiene factors, especially working environment or the conditions, all things we need to create more effective, more friendly, more helpful new employees. They are new for the organization. Our culture is very supportive. Everyone supporting each other. Communication is there. So how about the employees feel about the organization? Wow, this organization, they are really friendly. We can ask questions, we can develop, they are advising us, it's a good thing. So we can minimize the items like this. Okay. So they think out of the box. Okay. Then motivate us. Recognizing reward culture. Wow, end of the month. Okay, ABC business, the person name, okay, or the name, okay. They mention the top of the board, okay, top achievers. So everyone try to reach that the board. They want to display their pictures, names, then have a small trophy maybe, or think about a small gift maybe. Okay. I hope in one of the software companies Sri Lanka, every week, end of the week, they are analyzing, they are showing the performance. This basically a new idea generation like that. So they have a small gift for employees. It's a very motivating thing. Small thing is enough, even a chocolate is enough. Okay. So likewise. So in the business can identify who are the people contributing, who are the people capable, who are the people coming with different kind of ideas. It's a important factor for developing next level, the leaders of the next level. Okay. Then the growth, the personal development. We need to develop these people. We need to arrange training sessions for them. Okay, likewise. So then, self-confidence, self-development. Okay, so further they can contribute to the organization. Then provide challengeable. And we identify some of the employees, of course, they are capable, their behaviors are different, attitudes is different, contribution, okay, self-motivated. So we need to allocate some more responsibilities. We need to create a challengeable environment. So if they overcome, basically those kind of employees, they are overcoming those kind of challenges because they are willing on those kind of challenges. They are willing to accept. So thereby organization can identify, okay, these kind of employees are suitable for our assistant managers, for our executives. It's a plus point for them. Likewise, you will explain. Finally, Taylor scientific management. We discussed in our theory, Taylor mentioned, okay, we need to pay based on production number. Okay, piece rate. If the employee produces 100 units, okay, first 100 pieces, per piece price will be 50. After the 100, 75. Then after that, 200 like. So, all the time, employees try to produce more. Okay. Then after that, working conditions, supervision. We need to supervise. We need to arrange better environment without the disturbance. Simply, easily, they can collect, they can pick whatever they need. So, supervision important. We need to supervise. We need to look after those employees, what they're doing. We need to monitor them. We need to analyze the progress. We need to analyze. Okay, so thereby under the scientific management, mainly we discuss about 5 areas. We need to create a win-win situation. We need to pay based on the output, basically piece rate. Trainings are important. Trainings will enhance the skill. Okay. Then another special thing, we need to allocate specific tasks to, or we need to separate tasks and allocate workers by each. Okay, we know what is this. We call division of labor. Okay, so likewise. So these are the key points to be highlight this area. Now, why this scientific management objective base is important? Wastages are minimum or preventing of wastages. Cost of production we can minimize. Job security, motivation, enhance of efficiency, developing of skill, experience, okay, knowledge about the employees, building of good relationship between supervisor, employee, manager, employee, basically worker, likewise. Okay, then methods of motivation, financial and non-financial. Okay. So based on the monetary basis, some aspects they mention about non-monetary and monetary, or financial and non-financial likewise. Okay. So providing wages, sufficient bonuses, then after that fees rate may be okay. Profit share, performance based, whatever scenario we advise financial basis, monetary basis. People they can ask, okay, ABC organization, they basically in the work environment, of course, they are providing sufficient of salary. Financial things are fulfilled. They can ask rather than the financial, but the other thing is business need to fulfill. Business need to focus. Business need to provide. Non-financial, non-monetary. What are those? Job rotation, job enlargement, job enrichment, delegation, right? Recognition, training, likewise. Financial, non-financial scenarios. Okay. So the paper is This is a business more focused about the non-financial. Work environment, okay, rotational things are there. But employees are frustrated, dissatisfied. Why? Because business more focused about non-financial. Non-financial is one of the motivating factors. So as a business, we need to pay or we need to pay bonuses, commissions, like financial things we need to mention. Clear with it? All of you? Okay. So in the paper, if they ask about the financial, non-financial both, you need to explain, okay, those things are important. But developing of communication, building of trust are more important. So likewise, based on the questions you need to answer. Under the financial, again, if you just try to explain the same thing again, there is no expectation. There is the expect. Now think about students mistakenly. Okay, they mentioned paper, they mentioned the business provide sufficient salary. Business normally rotates.